I spent 2 or 3 months of my life on a Gmod server. I spent an entire summer playing nothing but Gmod every single day from dusk till dawn, all night. So this started when I was leaving middle school. I believe it was the summer in between middle school and my freshman year of high school. I was probably 14 or 15. And this summer, my parents, they really weren't in the house too often and they really weren't paying attention to us. I remember my dad and my stepmom were working quite a bit. So they just let us do whatever. This year, that year whatsoever, like they just didn't give a shit about what we were doing. They just didn't have the time or the energy. So my gaming addiction, I was a really big gamer at the time. I played a lot of games, Empire Total War. I played Team Fortress 2. Those games really weren't super addicting. They were fun, but I had always been a gamer growing up. So when I discovered Gmod, first I was messing around in single player. I would, mess with the NPCs and I would build little contraptions and stuff. And I thought the game was pretty interesting. I liked it. I love Gmod. And but everything changed when I discovered something called Dark RP. And Dark RP is an online multiplayer game mode where it's kind of like it's a role play server. So you could be like a thief, you could grow weed, you could make drugs, you can be a cop, for example, be a gun dealer. There's all these different jobs that you can play as, right? And when you're on the server, you build a base. It's kind of like you build a base. People can raid your base. You can raid other people's bases. So this is the golden age of Gmod Dark RP. Nowadays, if you try to go on there, there's just too many rules. It's just like all the servers are the same. This was during like the Wild West where like people were actually like role playing and there wasn't like a million fucking rules where you got like banned for like the smallest shit. So I found this server called Run Punch Studios. And Run Punch Studios was a simple Dark RP server. You could quickly like download, jump in. There wasn't like a million fucking things that you had to download, like Hatsune Miku skins or Deadpool fucking skins. So I started playing this game mode and a few of my friends actually started playing on the server with me. Well, this was like the first time like I actually like stuck on a server and became part of that community. So I started playing more and more and more. And I remember the admin, the owner of the server, his name was RPS God. And that was the admins would put RPS in front of their name. And also people that just like played on the server quite a bit, they would put RPS because the name of the server was Run Punch Studios. There was even a forum. There was literally a fucking forum as well. So I remember making a lot of friends on there. I remember there was a guy that would play all the time. He was cool. His name was Darroyce. He was from Quebec. The owner of the server, God, he would barely ever go on that server. He was barely ever on it. He would only go on there to like make someone an admin or some shit or like tweak something. And I just remember that the few times that I saw him, he just really didn't interact with anyone. And so he would leave his admins and moderators to run like the day-to-day server bullshit. Someone told me that this guy was like a fucking college student. So that's why he wouldn't play. He was just like in college or something. And he just didn't have the time. So anyways, back to the server. So I started learning how to like make money in Dark RP. I started using these things called money printers. And with a money printer, you can build a base. You start Literally, you spawn this little thing in, it drops to the ground. It's a little machine that prints money, and you can hear it through the wall. Well, while you're printing money, people are gonna try to break into your house to steal it, right? The police on the server are gonna try to like, raid your house because money printers are always gonna be made illegal by people. You can also become the mayor of the town. If you become the mayor, so there's a list of jobs you can run for mayor. The people on the server have to vote for you, and if it's successful, you have to you respawn as a mayor, and if you get killed, you'll literally lose a job. So the mayor can get like assassinated. The mayor is the one who like controls all the police. So the mayor would always just sit inside like the police station, and then all the cops and shit would fucking go around. This is back in the days of Dark RP where the police officers would actually roleplay as police officers, because this is when Gmod was like still like a niche like fringe thing. I think that the people took it a lot more seriously, and that's why it was just better and it had less rules, because people had that like mutual respect that like they just wanted to role play. There was no like YouTube videos of, like people trolling or like fucking hardcore griefing like these servers. Nowadays, if there's a server with no rules, yeah, it's just complete chaos. If there's not enough rules, it's complete chaos. It's just a bunch of like griefers and shit. And if there's too many rules, it's just boring because like you can't fucking do anything. Like you kill someone raiding your house and you get banned. You raid someone's house, you get fucking banned. Like, it's retarded. Everything is RDM. So, enough of that. How did I end up spending 2 months of my life on this server? To give you some backstory. So, yeah, my parents were just not paying attention to us, the kids. I don't know what it was, like they were just tired or what. So, I remember I would just sleep all fucking day. I would just sleep in because I had no responsibilities, no job. I didn't have any school. And so I would just sleep in all night. And I would wake up, when it was evening time. I would literally hop on my fucking computer and I would spend like the next like 14 fucking hours straight on that fucking computer all fucking night. Bro, you can imagine like how bad my mental health was. I didn't go outside at all the whole summer. I didn't interact barely with anybody. That was my NEET era. That was my NEET era. If you know what a NEET is, that's like no employment, no education, training. So like a hikikomori in Japan. So these are like people that just shut themselves in their room and like play video games. They're scared to go out to the store. That was me, bro. Like I literally cut off all of reality. Didn't talk to any girls, nothing. Didn't go out, wasn't riding around my bike, wasn't fucking, out like smoking weed, doing anything bad. I was literally just playing fucking Gmod from dusk till dawn. And it became weird because I started making like millions of dollars on that server. And then I remember I scrounged up $15. I put it on a like Walmart gift card, or the Walmart debit cards, and I bought donator status on that server. So I became a donator, and that $15 investment, I just remember like that gave me like access to a bunch of extra classes. So that made me want to play it even more. I felt like I was like big shit. And I remember being on the forum as well. Going on the forum, I would post on there. I was like active in the forum. But as I'm playing on the server, I started making a lot of friends, but also a lot of enemies. There was this guy that ended up raiding my base. This is the beginning of the fall of this server experience. There was a guy that was raiding my base, and this dude, I had concealed my money printer like up in the ceiling, like with a prop, and I made like the fucking thing like blend in with like the textures and shit. You can do that. You can like build some like weird intricate setups and bases in Gmod. And I just remember there was this guy that I had beef with that raided my base, and he killed me, and I got super fucking angry because I didn't like this guy. He fucking raided us. He like shot me through the wall or something, and he found like my money printer was like suspended up in the air. He took a picture. There was actually a way to get to the money printer, like a little like invisible staircase, but you can't see it in the photo. He posted on the forum and he was like, I'm reporting fucking blah 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 for, you know, he put the money printer, he's like prop blocking it. So I go to log in the next day on the server, fucking banned. Just straight fucking banned, bro. I freaked the fuck out. I literally like, bro, it was like I had a fucking brain aneurysm. I was on the forum like, yo, what the fuck? Like I was pleading like, yo, unban me, you know? And I told him, I was like, I spent $15. Fucking, you can't ban me. And I was even threatening that I was gonna like do some fucking like court procedure or some shit to like block the bank of the owner if I didn't get unbanned or like refunded my money. Which they didn't unban me for that. They were like, nah, sorry, dude. So that was bullshit. It was a permaban too. So I was really devastated. So one day I was like talking to another forum member on Steam who had became an admin, and this guy was cool with me. I didn't get unbanned through like the normal process. He became an admin, one of my friends, and he just went and unbanned me. Like, he just went around it. I remember I was back on the server and everyone was like, oh, how did you get back here? Like, aren't you banned? And I was like, oh no, Paradox, he unbanned me. So I just got unbanned by someone who thought I was cool. I kept trying to actually become an admin as well. That was another thing. I was trying for like a month or two because I had a lot of playtime on the server. I think they knew I was a kid. I would never use my mic because I was scared that they were gonna know I was like a child. I had like a high-pitched voice. I even tried to like use fucking voice changers and shit, which like there was like really shitty voice changers at that time, 2014. It was called MorphVox Pro, and I ended up not using it because like when I was running a game and trying to run that on my shitty ass computer, it felt like my computer was like overheating and it would fuck with the audio. So I would just type, but yeah, I think they could tell that I was just like a kid because a lot of people just, in order to become an admin or a moderator, it was like a voting system on the forum. It was people on the forum that would say yes or no, right? They would say plus punch or minus punch. And plus punch is like they're in support of your moderator position, and minus punch is like they're disagreeing. And you have to have like 2/3 is like plus punches. I would always get more minus punches than plus punches, and it would make me so fucking mad because I kept trying and trying and trying. Like there was like a cooldown period, and I just kept trying over and over and over. A funny story from the server real quick that I could let y'all know. There was this thing called the Great Hobo War. Me and my friends were playing on RP Downtown V2, like the OG, just basic downtown map for Dark RP, the Dark RP quintessential map. You know what I'm talking about. There's like the police station, there's the fucking like place where the mayor spawns in, you know, in the back. There's like the water fountain in the middle. There's a little neighborhood back there, little garages. It was just the original map. No, there was an underground also. It was like a variation. But there's the apartment building with the penthouse at the very top in front of the water fountains. So like the high rise all the way at the top, it's like 3, 4, 5 stories up. Me and my friends would always base in that penthouse because there was a lot of room, right? And it was at the top of the building. You could be a hobo in Dark RP, and this is like at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night. No moderators, no nothing. And these people were role-playing as hobos, and they built like a hobo fucking kingdom across the street from us on another high-rise building. So there's like 4 of us, me and 3 of my friends, and there's like 4 fucking hobos, 4 or 5 of them. Well, we're like, imagine these are like 2 buildings, like, and there's a street in the middle across. I don't know who shot the first shot. I don't know who shot the first shot, but someone started shooting, and literally, like, it was like a fucking war broke out. Like, bro, it was just like us and the hobos on the server, like nobody else. And I just remember like having like a fucking like sniper rifle, and I was just like popping fucking like the dudes across the street, like boom, like I would like go behind cover. I saw like my friends like with these machine guns, like lighting them up. We have like these concrete barricades and shit, little peepholes. You can see like bullets fucking flying through the windows, like popping back out. Like, bro, this was like peak Gary's Mod, Dark RP. And I just remember like we're like fucking shooting at each other. We're like, you know, throwing fucking grenades and stuff. They're trying to like come up from the bottom, you know, come up the staircase. One of our friends is like blocking the door, like fucking holding them off. I just remember looking over, seeing my friend like with a sniper rifle, and he just gets hit by like fucking hundreds of bullets. Like I see his body just fucking like blood fly everywhere. I see his body literally like fall down to the street. And one of my buddies I'm still friends with was, these are all my real life friends, by the way. They were also kind of addicted to Gmod at this time. Like we literally talk about this event. We still remember it. So yeah, we're fighting the hobos. We're killing them. And someone had like witnessed this. Some random person that used the forum. And what ended up happening is someone like reported it to the forum. Or one of the hobos reported it to the forum, I think. They were like, yeah, some other group started violence with us and started RDMing us. I thought it was all fun and games, you know? I didn't think that someone was gonna like report this, but they did. And so the hobos, like one of them reported it, I think, or someone that knew them. And I think an admin ended up asking me like, oh, were you there? And I lied, and I was like, okay, yeah, we were like having a war with them, but they started it. And the guy was like, oh, okay. And he just, bro, I think that we were the ones that started it. I'm pretty sure that we were the aggressors. And guess what? There was like 5 guys. The 5 guys in that base, and they were all like players that played often. They all got fucking permabanned because I just like lied to the admin, and I said that they were the ones who started the feud. So, bro, nah, man, that was some crazy shit. See, even what Gmod was my favorite game of all time. That was like the most addictive game I had. And that's part of the reason I don't play video games anymore. So, getting into the specifics, if I log into my Steam today, I have over 2,000 hours on Gmod from that shit. And so to put that into perspective, let's just calculate how many days that is of playing. Because I still ended up playing after that summer. I literally wasted an entire summer. So when I say I spent 2 or 3 months on Gmod, no, I literally mean like 2 or 3 months like of 24 hours a fucking day. Okay, let's see. I think I had around 2,100 hours. 2,100 divided by 24, 87.5 days. And that's 24-hour days, so that's not accurate. So I want to say like I'll be generous. I'll do like 12 hours a day. All right, 2,100 divided by 12, 175 divided by 30. Yo, that's fucking insane. So if we do 12 hours a day, so like if you account for sleep, I spent 5.8 months on Gmod of my life that I'll never get back. 6 months. Half a fucking year that I will never get back. Even if I live to like a fucking 100 years old. Like if I live to 50 or whatever, like 6 months is a lot. And that I will never get that back. I will never ever fucking get that back. That's like 6 months I could have had in like the final days of my life. That's 6 months where I could have like fucking learned a language. I could have learned a skill. I could have built a bit. Well, I was young at the time. I was 14, but anyways, 5.8 months, bro. And yeah, spending an entire summer where I could have experienced things. I could have had fun. I could have made memories. Instead, I was literally living in a virtual world. And that became my life. No, that literally became my life. I would wake up just to log into that server. And that became like my morning, or my quote unquote morning routine. I know it wasn't morning when I woke up, but that was like what I looked forward to. I would go to bed looking forward to logging in. And there's so many guys like this right now that I know. I have friends I went to school with that are NEETs right now. And they literally do that with like RuneScape. They do that with RuneScape. They just log in. They spend like 14 hours on RuneScape. They pass out. They smoke weed. And it's just an endless cycle that they've been doing for years. You know, no girlfriend, no nothing. Just fucking sad, depressing. It's honestly, that's why I don't play video games anymore. The last game I was really addicted to was a few years ago. It was called Mordhau. I spent 600 hours on that fucking game. 600 hours. That was like when I quit video games. That's when I realized there was a problem. Like, yo, I'm fucking like 21, 22. And I spent fucking 600 fucking hours on an online game. How many days is that? Let's see, divided by 12. 50. So over a month of my life spent on Mordhau. Which is accurate. I remember I was playing that shit all night. I was on unemployment. Holy fuck. I got laid off from one of my construction jobs. Back when I was working construction. Bro, you think I spent that fucking 3 months of unemployment, that 2 months of unemployment fucking productively? You think I invested that money? No, fuck no. I fucking sat on my computer and I played Mordhau from dusk till dawn, listening to music, smoking weed just all day. All fucking day on dueling servers. And that's why I fucking tell people to stop playing video games, especially past a certain age, even if you're younger, because video games are like way too fun. They are way too fun. I fucking love video games, bro. I love video games. Because you forget about all the bullshit in your regular life, all the pain, all the suffering, all the challenges that you have to go through. And you go into an escape. And I know, like, yeah, we have VR coming out now, which is a fucking terrifying thing. But when you're in that game, when you're, like, locked in, staring at that screen for 12 hours, it literally feels like you're in that game, like you're in that shit. It's like when you're reading a book. your mind is fucking transported to another reality. And that's how it feels like when you're in the game. Like, before you know it, 10 hours just passed. They just fucking, the time just got eaten up. And in reality, if I combine all the games that I've played, I probably spent fucking years of my life in video games. These are just the major games. I have fucking like hundreds of hours on Team Fortress 2, thousands of hours on Gary's mod, fucking almost 1,000 hours on Mordhau, 600, 800. I can't remember the last time I checked. It was getting there. I thought I was going to become 1,000 hours at some point, but that's when I actually quit the addiction. I fucking uninstalled all my shit on Steam. I fucking just deleted it all. And I was like, yo, it's time to fucking grow up. Because I'm getting older and my time... People say you have all the time in the world. You don't. You fucking don't. So, like, yo, in 5 years, I'm going to be 30. I'm going to be fucking 30 years old in 5 years. And then after 10 years after I turn 30, I'm going to be fucking 40. Like, this youthful appearance I have, I only had this for so long. I only have this shit for so long, so I'm going to make the fucking best of it. And if I spent the next 5 years playing fucking video games before I knew it, I wake up and you're 29. Yo, I know guys that went to school with that were like 4 years older than me right now. They're still on those games. Still working some shitty restaurant job. These guys are fucking they're 29. 29. And they're still on RuneScape. They're still playing fucking Call of Duty every day. And I'm like, yo, you're wasting your fucking life, bro. Your essence in your life is literally slipping through your fucking fingers. They have no kids. They have no, like, actual career. They're just still, like, living with their parents. It's crazy, man. Don't ever let video games take over your fucking life, man. That's one of the first things you gotta quit when you get on self-improvement, because it frees up your time. People say they don't have time for the gym. That's bullshit. Oh, but you got time for video games. Everyone I know that says they don't have time to work out plays them fucking games all day. Bro, you don't have time because you think you have to get in your gaming sesh, your fucking 4 or 6 hour long gaming sesh after work. You work for fucking 10 hours a day. Then you get home. And then you have some fucking crazy ass staying up till fucking 1, 2 a.m. playing fucking games. Fucking ridiculous, bro. I don't know, man. That's just my 2 cents on games. That's why I don't play them anymore. It's a fucking bad addiction. It's just, you know, I get it if you're a kid. If you're a kid, I understand. You know, video games get introduced to us as children and we don't know, like, how bad it can get, how addicting it can get. You just grow up with it. And some people will never break that fucking addiction. It's like my friends, I try to tell them, like, guys, you gotta wake up and stop playing the games. And they just don't get it. They're like, they literally say that they can't quit. They have it locked in their mind. I've had discussions with buddies. And they're like, I just can't quit playing. Like, I'm like, what, bro? Like, you fucking don't have the willpower to just fucking uninstall this shit and start doing other stuff. And they're like, I just can't, bro. Like, I can't. It's part of my life. And I'm like, yo, dude. Like, these fucking guys just accept that it's part of them. It's part of their fucking life. Which it is now. Like, yeah, it's part of their... It's gonna be a fucking third of their lifetime is spent in a virtual world. Imagine when you're an old man. You know, think about all those, like, World War II vets or fucking... My grandpa was a tough motherfucker. He was an iron worker. And he spent his whole life ironworking. And doing all sorts of crazy shit, traveling, going on adventures. He was an adventurer, an iron worker, philosopher. He wasn't a gamer. He actually ran an arcade at one point. He actually did have an arcade, so I guess he was an OG gamer, but this is like during fucking Pac-Man, so not that addicting. But imagine being an old man and telling your grandkids, oh yeah, when we were playing squad, my platoon, we got ambushed. Or telling your, kids about how you fucking won a Tekken tournament or some shit. Or I learned the hardest combo on Mortal Kombat X, and my friends were flabbergasted. Bro, my grandpa would tell me crazy stories about people falling to their death, about fucking getting into fights, going on strike, all this crazy shit. My other grandfather was another tough bastard. He like traveled the world, went to Japan, worked on fucking oil rigs. He was an engineer. He lived a fucking interesting life. So do you want to get old? I have one of these friends. He's like locked into the gamer world. I saw him the other night. I went to a party the other night, and you can't talk about real life shit with this guy. You can't talk about girls. You can't talk about working out. You can't talk about working on cars. You can't talk about fucking doing this project or that project. Because he only plays games, he was saying like, oh yeah, I was in Bannerlord, Mountain Blade Bannerlord. And the only thing this guy can talk about is video games. The experiences he recalls. Oh, I was in Rust and I single rated this guy's base. Oh, there was these Chinese guys playing on the server and I fucking, blew their base up. And so you can't even talk to this guy about like regular like life shit. It always has to go into context. Like his experiences, his crazy experiences are in the gaming world, and that's all he can like even discuss. He doesn't have other experiences to take from. He can't talk about like how he like had a run in with the cops, or how he did this, or he fucking like got into a fight or did this with a girl or something, or like he doesn't have any real life interesting stories because his real life is boring. All he does is go and smoke cigarettes on the porch and smokes weed and has the occasional, does drugs every now and then. But other than that, he's just a through and through gaming addicted guy. And he's tried, I've seen it in his eyes, like he wants to break out. He knows that it's wrong. And you'll notice that a lot of these guys know that what they're doing is wrong, that they are wasting their life. But they're so addicted, and they're mentally like, they're in a mental trap where they believe that they can't live without it, which is we all know that's not true. You can live without it. So what are your thoughts, guys? Post in the comments, like what's the what's the worst game that took like the most hours from your life that you'll never get back? Yeah, if you're currently addicted to games, yeah, leave a comment. Maybe I can help you out. We can set something up. I can help you get off that shit. So, yeah, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. And yeah, peace. This is Dark Warrior. Later.